And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is that you are catching the replay. I'm so glad to have you with us. Y'all recognize this face in that upper corner. If you were with us last year for Occupy 2024, she's back. Hello, Kenitra.
Y'all, hey,
Hey,
I'm
y'all. Hey.
excited.
I'm so glad that she's with us. And here's the thing that I love about Kenitra is when she shows up with a plus one.
Hey,
I
hey.
want to introduce you all to the amazing mind of Monica Michelle. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, let's dive in with this conversation. This is going to be more conversational than the last couple of virtual sessions that we did, where we were primarily teaching, primarily training. Um, for those of you who were with us at Occupy last year, you are familiar with Kenitra, but Kenitra's got a couple of new things in the
Mer-
works.
Mercy God. Is that my cue to tell
That
them?
is your cue. What's new? What's new?
Hey, y'all. Oh my gosh. So we met Kenitra as the growing through grief lady. We met her
Mhm.
as the grace journey, that model. But one of the things that is true about what happens on the other side of the evolution after the grief work is done, after the wellness work is that you have a specific set of muscles to help specific people arrive to certain destinations. And so
Yeah.
now I am also the CEO of Kenitra Mozelle Enterprises, where I am functioning as a consultant and a coach around businesses, brands, getting clarity, developing, launching, strategic launching. And I thoroughly enjoy
Are
it.
you loving it?
I love
I'm
it.
glad.
You know what's funny though? I'm going to tell you this, and I'm a Hirsch. What is funny to me is that the fruit of the labor of me being Coach K is already present, because there are sisters who have walked this. My sis who was with me at Occupy,
At Occupy.
I
Yeah.
have sisters who have walked in this journey with me together. And so they already have fruit. There's already evidence of the grieving, healing, and building journey. And so I love that, because nothing is wasted. But if you choose to grow through whatever that thing is that you're experiencing grief around,
Hmm.
God will make it productive. And so
Yeah.
we see that. I'm seeing it and I'm seeing it. And so I already got the testimonials. I already have reviews, because we have been walking this thing out together. And I've only been a step ahead of the sisters who are coming behind me. So as a forerunner, inside of this journey, I love that I get to just look back. Here goes a tip. Here goes the strategy. Okay, let's organize that. Okay, when did God say launch it? Okay, let's put it together. Boom. So in that light, you get Kenitra Mozelle Enterprises, which is coaching, consultation, and curation for your brand and your events.
Love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's an exciting evolution. That is. That's an exciting
It
evolution.
it is. And I will say this: I love the fact that Monica is with me, and I'm between calling her Monica and calling her Michelle, because we work together so much now. She has aliases depending on who else is on the other
Depending on,
teams
right.
that we work on. So
Right.
she's every one of her names. But what I love is that the grieving, healing, and building journey for me has had her in every single step of it. And so when I look at folks who are forerunners or leaders, in a sense, she has been that person for me. And we talked about it a little bit earlier, how, sometimes as brilliant people, as different types of geniuses that we
Mhm.
are,
Mhm.
we get into this ideation phase, and I want to do this and I want to do that. And so, that ideation phase came for me real strong after in the beginning of my grief journey, right? And so
Yeah.
Michelle, she's Michelle now. So Monica Michelle was with me in those beginnings. And I think the way, Cheryl, that you help a lot of the sisters in your network, Monica helped me in that, right? And
Mhm.
so um soberness around soberness before strategy
Yeah.
is important. And so,
Yeah.
that's my introduction to Monica,
I
right?
love that.
Yeah.
Monica
Yeah.
is your sit down and stop. Sit
Yes.
down, Kanitra.
Let's put this on
Stop.
the
And
calendar.
let's
Yes.
right
How you what you say you doing with?
next week. Really? That's a lot. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad. I am glad. And here's the thing. The fruit of her labor is evident. Just in like having conversations with you, whatever you did, Monica, I'm telling you to your face, it works. Because there'll be things and then she'll be like, but I'm gonna sit with it. I'm gonna go to God with it. I'm gonna see when I need to do it. Cause maybe that's not for another 3 years. I'm gonna sit with it. So yeah, it
Yeah.
has worked. It has worked. Tell us more about what you do, Monica Michelle and Monica Michelle. Like I feel like whichever hat you want to put on, we're here for it.
So I'm Monica Michelle, the solutions marketer. And what we do is we set up daily marketing systems to drive leads to clients effortlessly for tiny teams,
Mhm.
multi-passionate, full of impact people who are just tired of running out of time and they're not getting the results that they want. So you're trying to do all the things,
Mhm.
but you're running out of time and it's not happening the way you want it to happen. And sometimes, more often than not, I'm like, yes, let's do it. Okay. How much time you finna put into this? Come on now. And then you say something else. Then I say, okay, all right, now. And then you well, okay. So you trying to do all these
All that by
like
tomorrow.
okay, well, let's talk about all the little parts that come with each of
Yeah. Yeah.
you gonna be able to do all it? Your people ready? I mean, if you say your people ready and you got time to sit down and do all, then all right, let's go.
Yeah.
But is the goal to get it done, or is the goal to have people receive the impact of what it is you're trying to do?
That is
So
the
if you just
goal
want to get it done
finishing
so you can
it.
check it off,
Yeah.
then yeah, do it. Let's do it all tomorrow. But if you want people actually in the room and to be able to receive, they need a minute. They have their own lives and their own set of things, and you have to get them to want to come to yours versus
And
to
they
say
don't know you like that yet.
that part. And you have to
Like
build.
especially if you're in a pivot. I have found that a lot of people that whether they're a part of Occupy Academy or just people I have conversations with, simply because of things that are happening in the world that are creating these unexpected transitions for them. And so they may be because somebody made a decision who's never met you that your job isn't necessary anymore. And now what do I do? Right? But we don't know you as a life coach yet. We
That
knew you as an HR professional.
hmm
And all of a sudden now you're just out there talking about I'm a life coach. And it's like, well, when did that happen? I don't know that version of you. So you kind of you sober people. You make them kind of sit with it. I know what all the marketing gurus are saying. I understand all the people you following on Instagram and you went to YouTube University and Google Community College and got all this information, but let's sit with it for a minute and let me actually tell you how this is supposed to work if you want impact, if you want real lasting influence, if you want people that are actually going to follow you on this journey and believe that you can do all of these things that you say you do.
absolutely. And that's one of the things that I've had to catch myself in speaking to people to say, okay, well, what's the goal? What ultimately are
Mm,
we trying to accomplish?
yeah.
Church, are you just trying to have an Easter service because it's Easter time? Or do you want the people to come and experience and feel something? Which one are we wanting? Because you talking about doing a whole bunch of stuff right before Easter, the people gonna be too tired. They're not gonna come. They're not gonna want to come to the Easter stuff
They're
and
going to
break.
be all Eastered out.
Right. Let's have a cookout the day before Easter. Okay, but you want them to bring people to the cookout, and then you want them to turn around and come next day. Your people don't show up like that already. We gotta get them.
Ah,
What's the
yeah.
the objective?
Yeah.
Tell me what the
Yeah.
objective is, and then let's see how much time do you actually have, and that you're willing to, infuse into making this happen.
I
And
love that.
like I
It
said,
also sounds like you help people ask better questions. Like I
yeah,
feel like we have to get better at doing that. We have to get better at asking the right questions
to get what you
to
need.
get what we
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one thing Kenitra is a master with. I think growing up, one thing that we was always encouraged to do was to ask
Ask
questions.
questions.
Yeah, ask questions. You don't understand, just ask the question. And no question is a stupid question.
Yes.
Yep. Period.
Yeah.
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 Asking the question. No, and ironically enough, like I have this thing that we call let's do 100 videos in an hour. So we have to come up with 100 questions that you
A
need.
100 videos in an hour.
Yeah. So we sit down, we have a group class, and we say, all
Mhm.
right, list out 100 questions. And then, of course, the people be like, what you talking about? I ain't got 100 questions. And so we go through and we come up with 100 questions before this is over. And then the goal is for you to record these short videos answering these 100 questions. And they're saying, well, these questions seem slightly repetitive, or these questions um seem too basic. And it's like, okay, but you're wanting people to recognize you now as a life coach. So
You're the
because you want
expert.
people to recognize you as a life coach, you now have to answer these very basic
Very
questions
basic
to
question.
prove people that you know what a life coach is about.
Mm.
And you have to answer it in different ways in different contexts because I might not see the first video, but I'll see the second video, or vice versa. Or the person that's watching the video is just going to receive the information differently because you change the word from to to.
Right.
Just because you change that one word, just because
One
you
word.
number, you have to answer the questions better for your audience so that they can know that, oh, she is a
She
life
actually knows what
coach.
she's doing. That is good. Kanitra, did you do the 100 questions?
Mm-mm.
But
No, but
we
what
did it
I
before it
do
was labeled.
is I show up and I
You
show
do.
up
You
and
do.
I show up. I got more than 100 videos.
You do. You definitely do. You definitely do.
I'm a
You
show up
show up.
type person.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that.
But if you're not a show up type person, those 100 questions and those videos will stretch. They'll stretch your investment on the front end if you just hunker down and go ahead and do it. If you ain't got live every day at 12 o'clock like clockwork in you, if you ain't got that Kenitra in you,
This gives you something.
better do the
It,
videos.
it gives you something without having to feel like you have to do what everyone else does, the way everyone else does it.
Yeah.
One of the ways that I help people understand consistency. There's a difference between consistency and frequency, right?
Ooh,
So if I do something every week, you do something every day, and Monica does something every month, as long as the every is in place,
yeah,
our frequency is different, but the consistency is there. And as long as you're consistent, it helps your audience learn what to expect from you.
that's right.
And
And
that
I
they
don't have to be the everyday person because I can't be my husband's wife, my son's mom, and we homeschool, and the this and the that and all the other things, and be in front of the not me.
that
I don't have that much to no, I don't
and
have that capacity.
what I typically recommend is even when you're stepping into something new. So I've been HR and I want to be life coach.
Hmm.
Haven't been showing up because my job didn't require me to show up there. I wasn't,
Yeah.
so I'm taking on all these new responsibilities that I'm hoping and dreaming for. So instead of saying, let me do this every day, if you pre-record some stuff, that's gonna help you. Because Kenitra, actually, you were the first person who did 100 questions. I just didn't call it that. But we had
Oh,
a list of questions and you was
Oh,
doing, remember? And we pre-recorded. And so the
she
goal
gangstered me in a text message.
So we pre-record some of these things. Then that way, if you can't show up to, first of all, don't make a lofty goal. I'm gonna show up every day. Well, you ain't never showed up. Why you want to show up
you've
every day?
never.
You calm down.
You don't even have that kind of tolerance for people showing up in your inbox every day. Like that's me. Please don't email me every day. You're gonna get an unsubscribe because I'm not doing it.
Got other stuff in your life.
I'm busy. I'm a little busy. I am. But yeah, that makes complete sense. If you haven't been that until you figure out whether or not you can be that, figure
Yes,
out what you can do.
let's maybe step our way on up. And those pre-recorded videos, if you block out some time and do those, then you could say, okay, well, I said every other day, and I can't today because my shoe fell off and the children need me to pick me up from school and everything is last.
Mhm.
But let me slide in this library of videos that I already pre-recorded into for that one day. Okay. And because I now have a library, I have a go-to as opposed to the people are left on red, or I said I was, but I didn't, or I show up and I don't show up correctly. I'm not making the impact that I want every show up to be.
Talk about that. I show up, but when I'm showing up, the impact isn't there.
So one thing that I've noticed, I've personally experienced,
Mhm.
is that and even a lot of my clients, I want to show up perfect. I want everything to be, and I'm gonna keep thinking and keep thinking and keep ruminating and keep adjusting and fixing until everything is just so. So I can't actually execute until everything is just like I need it to be. And so if you can't divorce yourself from those things so that you can still show up, because ideally, what's the main goal? People aren't coming to your lives or your video or consuming your thing because it looks pretty or it looks just so. Not that it being pretty is going to take away from what it is you're doing,
Right.
but that shouldn't be the stopping of it. You don't, when you go to the store to go buy your bread, it's 9,000 bags of bread. You don't pick the bread that's pretty. Oh, I'm going to get this bread because it's perfect. No.
Right.
Oh, the twist tie is a different color. That's fine. The bread on the inside tastes the same. Let go, baby.
Yeah, I love that. And
We
a lot of the as a former perfectionist, um I yeah, I didn't yeah,
got an
we're
honorary
a
card.
group. It's a support group. Um I have planned myself out of stuff.
Yes.
I'm not even gonna do this for another 2 years unless and that because when I show up, I believe there's an expectation that if Cheryl did it, it's right.
Yep.
Even if people don't actually think that.
Oh no, yeah. That's what we were taught, right? Oh well,
Right.
it's gonna be perfect. But there's something in one knowing what your goal is and your intention is for the thing. And
Mhm.
then in knowing that intention, it's do I need lipstick on it for that intention to be met? For that goal to be met. Does it need lipstick? It'd be nice if it had lipstick, but does it need the lipstick? No. Okay, but then we're not gonna do the lipstick first.
Yeah.
Do the part that has to be done first. Whenever I've planned events, that's what we do. We say, okay, we plan an event. What's the point of the event? Da, da, da. Okay, great. So we know we need chairs and we need a location. We can't talk about the balloons until we know where we having it and do we have enough.
Right. Right.
We
Yep.
want to talk about how pretty the book cover gonna
How
be.
pretty it's gonna be. And you
Oh no,
haven't even
percent.
written the
What
first
kind of
sentence.
framework for the book?
No outline.
Table of content, something, just anything. What's the book actually about? Do you
Who is it helping? Oh, it's
who
gonna help everybody. Well, the devil is a lie. We already starting off wrong. We
Yep. It can't be. It can't be for everybody, and that's a difficult realization to embrace.
yeah.
Because when you're happy and you're exciting, somebody making you get clarity about a decision seems like a killjoy.
Oh, it
Like,
does. It does. Because you're making me think about the hard stuff. You're making me process some of the what ifs that are the ugly backside of everything.
The
yeah,
hard part. Who want to look at the hard part?
but it's got to be done though, because you don't have success without considering what the barriers are. You have to build into your planning for success how to navigate the barriers.
Maybe count the costs.
You
Yeah,
that's the word of God. That's what Jesus said.
I don't have it. I'm gonna have to go and grab me one. But
Count the
I
cost.
have a annual planner.
Hmm.
And just from conversations and doing one-on-ones with people, one of the first things that I like to ask is, okay, what were your barriers to success for the last 2 weeks?
Mhm.
Those need your attention. Like what your personal barriers, right? Because we're speaking from a perspective of what's going to impact your show up, right? And so if my makeup ain't done and my face is not pretty, that is a reason for you not to show up to even get the content out. All right, so let's build building blocks for barriers, building blocks, barriers, something. I'll grab the book in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to build around those barriers so that they are not a barrier in the future. And that's just having an honest conversation. And we need to be comfortable confronting those things. And it is okay. Sometimes we hear, if we acknowledge our barriers, we feel like it is a fail. No, it's not a fail. It's just a part of identifying another key element in your strategy. Like,
Yeah.
I am going to strategically schedule my time this particular way. I'm going to pick out my clothes this kind of way. I'm going to block off my time this specific way so that this barrier does not have room to revisit me in this same way
Right.
again and produce its outcome, because the outcome I want is this. So let me break it. Let me snap the lion's teeth out, or let me take the claws off so that you
Oh,
cannot, damage me.
yeah.
But we've got to be okay with having those conversations about what those barriers are, because if the thing that you're called to do is big enough, if the impact inside of you is great enough, if the urgency that the Lord is giving you on your neck enough, then you will find a way to navigate around those barriers well, because you don't want his knee on your neck.
Baby, say
That
it.
is so good. Identifying the barrier
Mm-hmm.
first.
Yeah.
Before you do anything else, identify the barrier. I believe, and I say this often, especially to people who are creatives,
Yeah.
right? I personally am more, I am creative, but I'm more analytical than creative. Um, I don't believe anybody should create anything without studying how God created.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, that's good.
Genesis chapter 1 should be like the required reading.
Yeah.
It should, right? Like he knew, because since the scriptures say he knows the end from the beginning, knowing that he wanted fish. If we were creating the world, we would have had fish and no water because we wanted fish. We wanted whales and sharks and guppies and, you know, and then we would have been like, wait, but where do we put this? What does
Right.
this need to thrive? What does this need? What ecosystem needs to be put in place? So not just the water for the fish, but if
And
this fish eats this fish and
listen,
this fish eats bugs,
girl, that's good. Because even in the midst of doing that, now we have put ourselves in a stressful situation that we have
we
created.
created.
And so now we stress because we like, oh my God, I got to hurry up and find the water. What?
Where's the water gonna come from?
Oh, but I got, but at the same time, I need to eat the fish. But now somebody asked me for fish. Well, go, the fish about to die. Hold up, I got to give it mouth to mouth. Then I got to find the water. You still
It's
ain't
too
like,
much.
come on now.
It's too much. And some of us, unfortunately, especially as solopreneurs, which by and large, statistically, most women who are business owners are solopreneurs. We're given mouth to everything because we haven't built the ecosystem for which it needs to live before we create the thing.
And wonder why you out of breath.
And wondering why you're out of breath.
We know your crash out cycle coming.
It is. It is. That's the long and short of it. It is. And
Yeah.
then, so we identify the barrier. Once we identify the barrier and not letting the barrier be a burden, right? Not letting the barrier stop you. Identify the barrier. Where do we go from there?
Yeah. Making a commitment. So I went and got it. So I have a planner
She does.
that I made. I
She
made it for
did.
myself because my brain, I was having crash outs my own self because I couldn't get stuff out of my head. But
Hmm.
this is building, what does it say? Building to overcome before they block. So barriers, building to overcome barriers before they block. So you identify what it is first, and then what is it that you're going to build that gives you support as it relates to that specific barrier. And then you refer back to the plan. And you got to tell somebody who on your team, who is on your team, solopreneur, who is on your team, who can
Yeah.
be your accountability to remind you, okay, let's go back to your plan because you talked about this. Okay, have you been doing what you said you were going to do? That part. Sometimes it's us doing a reset so that we can recommit to what we already said we were going to do. So let's
Mm-hmm.
go back to that. Let's go back and revisit what the plan of action is. And if the plan of action needs to be adjusted, we do that. But you don't crash the whole business, the whole thing, the whole plan because
Right.
of this one particular thing. You revisit where you went wrong
Right.
and you start again because the end game has not changed.
Even if that means you've got a detour.
Yeah, absolutely.
The barrier is gonna, it may still be there. But I have found personally, sometimes going around the barrier, I find a better route to where I'm trying to go.
Oh, that's good. That's good. It's revelation in your box. You'll find a new girl,
You'll find a new way to go. And
right
this
down
might
this
actually get me there.
subdivision.
This is a whole entrance to the interstate I didn't even know existed because
Mm,
I'm trying to take the surface streets.
come on, Jesus. That's a word right there. What you was about to say, Monica? You was ready.
No, because I mean that's exactly what it is. And part of why I recommend you do the same release multiple times or you have the same event multiple times is so you can look back and analyze what went wrong, what went great. Okay, now let's do it again. Because now I'm starting from a foundation of knowledge. Even if it was a flop and it failed, I'm still starting from knowledge because now I know something about releasing this event or releasing this book that I didn't know beforehand. Okay, I didn't give it enough runway. I didn't tell people enough about it. I didn't answer enough questions ahead of time before the event started. So
Yeah.
now let's do the same exact release. Let's do the same exact launch, but this time let's put into play those things that I didn't that failed the first time. And let's do
And
it again.
failure is relative. It doesn't mean the same thing to everybody. And I also feel like some of what we call failure may have just been the thing in infancy.
Yeah.
It's not a 20-year-old yet, right? Like it's not an adult yet. It's got a head, two arms, two legs. It's got all of its organs working. It's just smaller
Mm,
than the adult,
That is
which means you have to treat it differently.
that is
So
so
in this stage, this needs milk. It needs milk. Give it what it needs
mm,
until it becomes a toddler. And let's do it again in toddler stage. That might mean pick a different venue that's not as large. So if you feel that failure means I wanted 200 people, but only 100 showed up, pick a venue that seats 100 and max that out. If that's your thing, like if you get in your head about how many people showed up, max it out. Reassess your definition of failure. I feel like we don't do enough of asking the people that we say we serve, how did I do for you?
Mhm.
Because it might not be as bad as you think it is.
Mm. And that's part of why it's so important to know what the goal is before you start. And when you have 50 goals, oh, I want 100. This is the first time we did it, but I
First
want
time we did it.
200 people to come. I want to sell $9,000 tickets and I want to have 4 books and we're going to do an upsell at the end for a $5,000 product. And no, baby, can you pick one?
Pick one.
Can we win one goal?
Pick one. Pick
But it was
one.
because when you were talking, it made me remember I have a niece who was just born, and she's, of course, a baby. She's sitting up and doing all the little, yeah, and steady talking, right? But then I also have a niece who is now 8, and I have another niece who is like 4. And all of them,
Different
while they all
stages.
are trying to walk, they're all trying to talk,
Yes.
all trying to navigate life.
Yes.
They're all doing things. And then I have a niece who's 16 or 15. So they're all navigating life. They're all walking. They're all doing things. But if the baby tries to walk and falls, we don't say, oh, girl, you failed. It's over.
Right.
They'll never be able to walk again. Jesus. Oh,
We do that to ourselves.
we do it to ourselves. We do it to that first thing this is our first time doing it. What's making you think it's gonna win? Not that it's not good if it wins, but if it
Not
wins,
that
it's
it's
a
not good.
miracle. It's a gift from
Yeah.
God. It's
Yeah.
okay if it fails
Yeah.
because our expectations of it is unclear because this is our first time. Like we have unrealistic expectations and unrealistic thoughts because we haven't sat with it long enough. We haven't done the research and talked to the people who have already been here.
We should look at whether or not David would have been as confident confronting Goliath had he not had experience with lions and bears and keeping the sheep safe
By himself.
He would
by
not
himself.
he would not have presented himself as an option.
Lions, plural, which means I've done this more than once. Bears, plural. I've done this more than once and kept the sheep
Girl,
by myself while dealing with family stuff,
by myself.
while experiencing rejection, while being in the presence of God. He wouldn't have seen himself as a worthy opponent. I know I can do this because I sat with God for a bit. So that's the spiritual, but I've got the practical experience.
Mm-hmm.
If little old me with lions and bears, this dude is nothing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so being able to marry the two after having had the experience of doing it.
Mhm. Now that I feel like that leads to an identity conversation because some of us are not clear on the muscles that we already have,
Yeah.
especially for those of us who are pivoting. It's a lot of folk in America in transition
Lots.
because things in America have transitioned, and so you are pivoting, and you may not understand what your value is. So I'll say this personal story. So I worked in nursing for a little over 15 years at the VA, right? So I'm a registered professional nurse. My master's in nursing is in leadership and management. So I work bedside, and then I move into data and informatics and outcomes. So I'm very much a nerd. I'm really, really
Nerd.
a nerd.
Nerd.
I left in 2022. So in the grief journey, it was like, it is time to separate because I desired to make bigger impact, right? When you lose somebody close to you, you rethink how you live forward.
Right.
So I desired to do more with the capacity and energy and ideation that I had. So that was maybe 22 to 20 to like 2024. I was really, locked in on the things that God was calling me to build. And then in 24, he was like, okay, like essentially you can start reconsidering going back into a corporate setting or looking for work. I did not know who I was until I went and I started to look at what the job descriptions were. And I said, I already do this. Right. And
Yeah.
so it boosted my confidence to go and look in these places at how they were describing things that sounded like me. I have independently built this by myself with no help. Right. So I became more clear about who I was, what my skills and my talents were. And I just went ahead and pitched myself as the CEO of so and so, and this is what I offer. And I think that it's something that it's important for us because David was clear about who he was. How
Yeah.
clear are you about who you are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm clear about who I am, and I did enough without having to wear your armor.
Baby.
I did all this before I met you.
Yep.
Good
Yep.
morning.
Say it with your chest.
I know what I can do, and that's no dishonor to your armor, but that's yours.
Yep.
One
He
thing
went and got 5 smooth stones and only used one. We don't talk enough about that part.
over
I got 5, but I can kill this with one.
And did.
And did.
Ooh, one thing that I do like to say and remind myself with the imposter syndrome, or I need to be perfect before I can start it, is confidence comes in action. So
Yes.
I'm not confident about walking. Well, how do I get better about walking? I walk.
Become competent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not comfortable in driving because I just got my license. Well, how do I get better at driving? I
Drive.
I can't just watch videos about people driving. I can't just read the driving book. I have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if my barrier in driving is I can't see, my hair is so big, I can't see behind me. Okay, we need to put that baby in a ponytail then. Like, okay, let's move with it. Like, what we got to do? Make sure there's nothing behind us before we even get in the car. Like, what? Let's work through it.
So this is barriers in the process. So not just identifying barriers at the outset, but as we progress, as we're learning, as we're doing, as we're going, as we're laying foundation, what barriers now are in the way that may, I mean, like you think about even like building a house. So for me, when I hear foundation, I immediately think about like building a building. And I tell people often I would rather, like when they're building anything, if it's a book, if it's a brand, if it's a anything, I'd rather you buy a big plot of land and build a small house than
Mm.
to buy a small plot of land and try to build a big house because you've got nowhere to go now, right? So in laying your foundation practically, you cannot lay the foundation and build the house the same day. The foundation has to cure, it has to harden, and then somebody's got to come out and inspect it
Test it.
before you can get to the next step.
Somebody got to come test it.
Somebody has to come and test it.
Mhm.
So
Hmm.
that speaks to what you said about like let's do it again. You laid your foundation, have the people come, have them test it. Now let's start putting the walls up
Yeah.
Mm.
and show them a different iteration of the same thing that you did. And then assess whether or not the impact was actually there.
Yeah. I want to give a compliment to you because
To me, you're not about to have me crying on God's internet.
I just want to say that what you
Choose
are
your
talking,
words carefully. I
what you
will
about, you have done.
I will turn this video off.
I won't be mushy, but I love the fact that we're having a conversation very specifically around things you've taken the time to do. And you have done that with the Occupy experience. I remember being in the room last year and I appreciated the survey that you sent out so
Mm-hmm.
much because you didn't ask us the typical survey questions. You asked more
Right.
targeted, asked targeted questions. You wanted to know about the impact. I remember my sister Jamaica gave some really good feedback around how you took the time to use and explain and expound on the specific words that were weaved into the experience to see if that is what the experience actually was.
Yeah.
So the intentionality of us as builders does require us to go to into more depth. Like don't be comfortable at that superficial level because the depth is necessary in
Oh,
order for you to continue making impact. You got to ask the hard questions about what it is that you are doing. So how do you ask a question about an experience that you created for somebody unless you create the experience and allow them to experience it? We've
yeah.
got to go and build what the Lord told us to build so that we can improve upon that specific thing. Let's not be mad at God and feel like we ain't hear him and all these other things because you did not take the step necessary in order to have a conversation with him about how to make it better.
Right. When
So
it's
I
his idea, you have to go back to him about his idea.
yeah.
You have to go back to his people about his idea. Did this actually do what I thought it did? Because I wasn't in your seat when you experienced it.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether or not it had the desired outcome. I don't know whether or not it impacted you. I don't know whether or not even so, like, even today, one of the things that I am so glad about from last year, with last year being the relaunch and a completely different iteration of it than it's ever been, is I've had people since last year tell me, I still remember when Kenitra said dot dot dot. I still remember when Kat said dot dot dot. And I've been chewing on that. Tanya said this, and I've been working on that throughout the course of the year. That to me matters more than I had a good time. I took a whole bunch of pictures and posted them up. Good, good, great, big deal. Like, you've been taking pictures all year long. The fact that people were telling me that you guys said one thing that they had not been able to put language to for years, that pivoted them in a different direction, matters to me more than anything. If all you heard when you came was one thing, like, I'm giving you the buffet, right? Like, you're not going to be able to eat all of it today, because I believe in giving people depth. I know that people are drawn to me for depth, right? So we're not laying blankets on the beach. You have to bring scuba gear, even if I have to teach you how to use it while we're diving, but that mattered more than anything else. If the room wasn't decorated beautifully, if the and I go back to something the Lord asked me a long time ago. If you put them in a warehouse with blank walls, could you still do the same thing? Yes. Yes, I can. And that would matter to me more than anything. We don't need a balloon. I'm so tired of balloon. We don't need a flower wall. We don't need arches. We don't need backdrops. None of that. If I give you something that pivots your life, if I give you something that helps you make more money this year than you made last year, if you don't take now one picture, but you come out of this with more clarity, you come out of it changed, you come out of it with a greater understanding of who you are and what you should be doing, that matters to me more than anything.
It's a man standing at my door and it keep setting this trigger off. Right. I'm trying, like, I'm still broadcasting, go away. But I will say this, and then I'll pass the mic and tell him to move. What you just said needs to be all of our hearts. If you are building
Anything.
anything, your heart needs to be, did it do what I believe God has instructed me to do?
Mm-hmm.
Because you, how do I say this? You want to hear a well done, good and faithful servant from him.
Yeah.
The feedback of the audience is important so that you build it well, but will God be satisfied with, what it is that you have done?
Yeah. Monica, from a marketing standpoint, how do we approach that? Because I think marketing is so wildly misunderstood.
I like to think of marketing as we're just building a relationship.
With the
Marketing
people.
with the people or your
Okay.
audience or who it is that you're trying to connect to. So when a child is trying to get their mom and their daddy to say, okay, I can go to the movies and hang out this weekend with my friends. Well, through the week, you do your marketing. So on Friday, ain't no
Ah,
problem.
gotcha.
I used to go to my mom on Friday and be like, can I go out? And then she'd be like, you ain't clean your room this week. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, player. No problem. Next week, I'm cleaning my room every day. Then on Friday, because I'm doing marketing.
Right.
You told me what I needed to do to win her
That's good.
to get a yes. So then I'm gonna go back to her on Friday. Mom, can I go to the movies on it's Friday? And then she said, well, you've been cleaning your room all week. Yeah. Well, you shouldn't ask me at the last minute. Okay, player. I got you.
Ah,
So next week I'm gonna clean my room all week. And I'm gonna
ask in
say
advance.
on Thursday, hey, can I go to the movies this weekend? Oh, well, sure. because now I have done the marketing. I've built the relationship to show that I'm competent and I can do the thing. I'm arguing with my siblings and doing all that. So then it's like, okay, I want to go drive the car and pick everybody up and drive everybody out. You have not shown me that I can trust you at night because I can't trust you with your siblings.
That's
So
good.
same way with our show up when it comes to an audience. Why would God allow us to be in front of thousands and millions and
My
200
Lord.
and we can't even show up
For
and
the
be
30.
five people?
Right.
The internet in a consistent basis. So it's important to show up because it helps the audience understand your competency and who you are and what you're doing and the
Hmm.
say it,
That's it. Authenticity.
authenticity of you. But then it also builds it in you because now your confidence is building. But then it's also saying God is letting God say, okay, I can trust. I'm not gonna put 1,000 people in front of her tomorrow, and then next month she doing something else because
That's
these people are
important.
hungry.
That's important. Because when we look like when okay, so like looking at the parable, the either the parable of the talents in Matthew or the parable of the mina in Luke 19. It says he gave to each of them according to their ability. On the basis of what I already know about you, this is the bare minimum that I trust you to do.
Mm,
I'm
mm.
not asking you to do more than I'm not asking you to do what everybody else is doing. Number one. I'm asking you to max out what I gave you that I know this ought to be able to produce.
That part.
This should produce such and such result. And so from the identity standpoint, that requires us to know what's in us, to trust what he gave us, and then, like Monica said, to actually start working that, start doing something with it, start showing up, start letting people know, start cultivating relationship. Um, Anything other than that, and it's this I don't know, like as she was talking about it, about how marketing is relationship building, I think about how, like, you go places and you've got people like just in the Walmart parking lot. Hey, can you give me $5 to, that's how that comes across.
Oh
That's how it comes across.
yeah.
I
And
was
like
just thinking, I was just thinking to myself, if we don't establish no like and trust, you are essentially an intruder.
You're
You just ran up on somebody and
intruding.
was like, give me
oh like the man
197 for
the man
this event.
like the man
But I
A
don't
man
know
at your
you.
door. Yeah, like I don't
you
know you. Why are you here?
I want to come in.
Why are you here? I've
And
never even heard your voice. If the sheep are supposed to know and follow, I've never even heard your voice. Why am I following you? Where are we going? Who gonna be there?
Yeah.
so one thing that my dad used to say to us all the time when we were children, and he says it now every blue moon, but he'll say, it's not rocket science. If it was rocket science, if it wasn't rocket science, anybody would be like, anybody can do this. So why not you?
Why not you?
And so the thing that I said, okay, since he's saying anybody can do this, this must be something I can figure out. I'm capable. Okay. So it's not that I need more time. I don't need more stuff. I don't need more balloons in the room and
Hmm.
I don't need more people. I
Hmm.
just need a plan. I need to sit down
Yeah.
and make a plan on how am I going to build this relationship? Because back in the day, they would say it was 7 points of interaction. That
Interaction. Hmm.
now it's like 22. Last time I
Is
checked,
it really?
last time I checked. Now who knows what it is today? Because
Wow.
we watch and consume so much
So
bites
much.
content. So I don't really remember the videos. Even if I remember the videos I watched yesterday, I don't
Mhm.
remember who the people were that showed the video. And even if I went and followed all those people, then it's still a matter of I now got to figure out, well, why did I follow you? Which video of yours did I like?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
don't, we don't have a
And if
relationship.
I can't remember, I was like, why did I even do this?
Well, let me
Unsubscribe,
explain something.
unfollow, delete.
Yes. And so people are viewing us the same way. And that's part of why we plan for marketing. When someone's trying to date you,
Uh-huh.
show up the first day and be like, hey, I saw you at that nurse station. Go,
Wow.
here go the ring. Let's get married. Wait a
That's
minute.
weird.
Yeah.
That's weird, sir. You're strange.
No, you show up with edible arrangements for everybody. And then you give me one on the side.
Right.
That's how you do it.
You make a plan and and then you say, okay, well, I want to get to know her and I want to know her in different settings. Okay, so maybe this time we're gonna go hiking. Let me plan a hiking trip. Not, yes, sometimes it is a spontaneous, hey, it's Friday, you want to go to the movies tonight. But there's a plan. There's a, okay, well, let me put some thought into this.
Mm-hmm.
Same way it is with our marketing. We can't, there are times where we can just show up and say, boop, let me turn on the camera and just talk. Hey, how you doing? Da, da, da.
Yeah.
But there's also, we know that we have an expected outcome. I'm taking you somewhere. I'm taking you to this book that I just made. I'm taking you to this diagnostics that I put together. I'm taking you to occupy. I'm taking you somewhere. So on this journey of occupying yourself, let's go through a couple of steps and build this relationship because to occupy, you got to understand what you're occupying. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that to get you ready.
Yeah.
Hey, you trying to occupy? Okay, well, you got to
Yeah.
know who you are because who was trying to who finna occupy what? Okay,
Yeah.
who is telling you to occupy? Okay, let's talk about all
That's
that.
good.
How you gonna be ready for Occupy?
That's good.
I gotta get you ready for it. I can't just be like, hey, come on, boo,
There it is.
let's go.
That's good.
And
How do
that's
you start that with business owners? Like, where do they begin? What's like step one?
so generally when people are coming to me, they already have a thing.
Okay.
They already have a thing and a thought, right? And they're trying to figure out how to release the thing or how to put it together, or sometimes they even already have a date. And so I have a diagnostics that I do, and I walk you
Mhm.
through the diagnostics, and we figure out where the issue is, right? Is it your marketing? Is your messaging together? Is it clear? It's called traffic attraction content. So is your messaging clear? Okay, all right, got it. Is it the people are not attracted to you, or is your offer not sufficient? Okay, well, let's figure out where that issue lies.
Mhm.
Because we may need to change or rearrange your bio. Not that you need to change as a person, but you're not showing up and positioning yourself in the best
Yeah.
light.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to change your bio. Maybe we need to change what you're showing up with online. Maybe we need to do some collaborations, but let's figure out what is needed in order to give the audience what they need. And so once we make this plan, we figure out how much time you have. Do you have a team to help you, or is this just you?
Is it just you? Yeah.
Right. And if it is just you, that's fine. Can your sister do a little bit?
Mhm.
Can your baby do something? And they know how to work all the things. So who can help you do something, right? And so when we figure out what you're capable, where you're trying to go, what's the goal, how much time we have, then who's helping you build this plan out? Because we want to position stuff. Let's schedule as much stuff as possible because what we don't want to do is rely on hoping that next week, Friday at 12 o'clock, you're going to have free
You'll
time.
have time. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Let's do what we can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's make a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then, all right. So now that we have that, now we can pull the trigger and execute. I used to give this example to Kenitra a lot. I was like, I feel like sometimes you're telling me that we're building a chair, and as I'm building the chair, you're sitting in it, and I'm trying to build a chair while you sit in it. But at the same time, I went to school for design and architecture. So I'm over here trying to sketch the chair out,
Yeah.
and you sitting in the
You
chair
sitting in the chair while I'm building it
and then I'm trying to build it while you sitting in it because
to
you want to.
keep you from collapsing.
And I'm sitting here like, I'm not even sure I got the right material because you keep changing what it is we do. Hold on. And this is tomorrow. Can you? So we used to have this conversation of, okay, we can't do all three of them at the same time because something, it causes stress, something
Hmm.
doesn't get done, and it doesn't make the impact that you want. And then when we're done, when that event, when that launch is done and when it's over, once we've propelled and went out to the nations, right? Now let's go back, look at our analytics and see what happened. Okay, how many clicks did we get? How
Hmm.
many conversions did we get? How many people came to the page but didn't buy? How many people, how many DMs did you send?
Hmm.
How many relate? Did you go out on other people's pages and talk to them, not try to sell to them, but to engage in what it
Ah.
is that they're doing? How many collaborations did you try to do and how many were successful? Did you give a strong call to action? Where, okay, what can we tighten up? You ran ads, wonderful. Let's look at the ads that you ran and let's see where we can tighten them up. Maybe a better video. Maybe they didn't like the video, they didn't finish the video that you ran. Okay, let's do a different video next time. So let's assess it, make a better plan, and roll it out again.
So we're not just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. We're making full use of the data that comes with the actions because these days that information is readily available. Like I remember once upon a time you were not getting analytics on anything.
Girl.
You just had to hope.
That part right there. And TV shows and streaming shows, that's how they operate. We did a pilot. We think the pilot is good. We thought the concept was great, and so we financed the pilot. Okay,
Mhm.
great. Let's see it. Okay, the exec saw the pilot. Looks good. Okay, we're gonna green light you for
Eight
eight.
episodes. Hmm.
Let's see how it goes. Let's see how the people relate. If they can't get the people to watch for eight episodes at five, they were like, okay, this we losing too much money.
Yeah, we're not doing this.
Not
We
gonna
don't
do
need
it.
a season two.
We need to pivot. We need either to move you to another night. We need to change out the mama because they don't like the mama. We need
Right,
to change out the daughter. We need to do something.
right, right.
Or we just need to scratch it and we try this again.
And to do something else.
Do this next.
That's an interesting, like, we don't realize that there's so many things in our lives that work that way. It happens that way with food.
Yes.
They'll try out a new recipe on, I think I remember living through the new Coke. People were so mad about new Coke. I was like, oh my God, y'all. That became a model for that's like industry standard when talking about marketing, product development, all of the things. They talk about new Coke because of how disastrous it was. But we don't realize that like everything in our lives functions that way.
You
We
release it,
try to build businesses not paying attention to
the numbers. I just want to do the fun part. Okay, that's called a hobby.
that's a hobby.
I just want to do the sexy and the cool thing. I do the pretty stuff. Oh, I just want everybody to come together. Okay, great. That's a paid hobby.
Yeah.
There's associations, there's groups that function that way. They set up, people pay to join, they got to pay membership dues, and all
Hmm.
they do is get together and have fun. Social clubs. Now you might say the words that, oh well, I'm here to make impact across the women and the United States.
Yeah.
But you ain't, the impact you making is social, and that's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
But
Because
call it that,
and be clear about it in
and
your
be
head,
okay with it.
so you can
Yeah.
be so you can maximize your social lane
And so you can stop holding God hostage to stuff that he didn't actually say he was going to do.
and
'Cause
confuse.
that's not the idea.
Yes,
That's
yes.
not what it was. And then you're mad with him and rebuking the devil when really you just need to go back and look at your analytics. Just go back and look at the numbers.
It'll tell you what you
Satan ain't had nothing to do with this. If you ask the people who came and who paid their money, what did you get out of this? If all they say is brunch,
then that's what
did
we
you
want.
grow? Did you learn anything that you didn't know? Did you meet anybody that can maybe come alongside? Because even if it's that, like if you developed a new relationship, but if relationship building wasn't the goal, you
Mm.
may have created something and called it something that it actually wasn't.
And when you call things the wrong thing, when you've named it incorrectly, if I see a turtle on the ground and I call it a bird, Look at my bird, and it's crawling on the ground. But my bird, it's on the ground. And then I'm mad because the turtle won't ever get up in the
It
tree.
won't ever.
Why won't you get in the tree? Let me pick you up and put you in the tree. And the turtle like, are you serious? They get down. And you
Wow.
sit here saying, why my bird won't fly? Because you have mislabeled it. And then when other turtles come around, they're like, why is she calling that a bird? That's not a bird.
Wow.
When other birds come around, they saying, I'm not staying over here because she keeps saying that's a bird, and that is not a bird. I'm a bird, I got feathers. It's the same with our marketing. If we're saying that I have a business that's going to impact women and help you think and grow, but all I'm doing is giving you lipstick, and I'm not telling you how this lipstick connects to your growth and how this lipstick impacts you as a person, then the women that are coming in are they may not say it, but they will show you it.
They gonna show it.
Right. They'll show up, they'll come one time, and they'll show up, and some women are gonna be like, well, she nice, so I'm gonna keep hanging out. And well, I like her lipstick. She just don't know what she talking about, but she got great lipstick, so I'm gonna keep coming. And some women gonna be like, I'm not staying here for this. And then when you turn around and say, okay, now we finna have a think tank session, the women who are in the room are like, well, all she do is give us lipstick. Why she want to have a think?
Mm.
So now you up here like they won't cut in my think tank because you told them that all you care about is lipstick. You
That's
care about
all.
surface stuff. Why
That's
would they come to a
all.
think tank?
Yeah, that's good.
You have to
That
get
is
ready
so
for the think
good.
tank now.
That is so good. Oh, we.
Hmm.
That's a lot. That yeah, that gives you some things to sit with.
It gives you a lot to sit with. And
Several.
we're calling things a thing. But our audience, the people we're called to serve, don't see the thing that way. They don't see it that way. And if we are, in fact, servant leaders, then if we're servant leaders, the position is both serving and leading. And if we are doing neither, we need to change the title and call it like we need to just stop. If we are neither serving nor leading, because if you're walking and no one's following you, you're just walking.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that back to the garden. So Adam named all the animals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then God put them to sleep and he
Mm-hmm.
woke up and Eve was there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if he woke up and said, I'm not going to call her Eve. I'm not going to call her woman. I'm going to call her fish. I am going to,
Throw her in the ocean.
I'm going to mislabel her. And I'm going to treat her in the way that I think she should be a fish. And if she
Mm.
said, she got one or two ways to respond. Either she gonna be like, this dude crazy. I'm not a fish. I don't belong in the water. Or she could say, all right, I'm gonna get in the water and I'm gonna amuse him and get in the water. So what happens?
Mm.
He goes without companionship.
He goes without.
Because the whole point of why she was created, the point of she was for companionship for him.
Wow.
And so when we mislabel things and we misuse things and we don't identify the purpose of it and cultivate it for what that purpose of it is because we didn't sit long enough to figure it out, we didn't make a plan, we didn't talk to God, we didn't talk to other people, then we mislabel our business, we mislabel our purpose, we mislabel what we're supposed to occupy. And then in return, we're still frustrated. And while
Yeah.
we're frustrated, now we having other feelings. We're antic, we're distracted, we're full because now I got a fish who need water and I ain't got no water and I'm
I
trying to
don't
find
have water
water. Yeah.
at all.
And then I got to give
At
you
all.
food. One cool thing is people like to, there's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
There's nothing you're saying, there's nothing I'm saying, there's nothing Kenitra's saying that has never been said before.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the way we're saying it is because of the unique makeup of what we've experienced, what God has talked to us, what we've been through, and all the things. And that's why people buy the thing from you.
Right.
However, what you're saying isn't new. So
Two.
if I want to piece it together, I can go somewhere else and Google it and figure it out. But part of what makes someone buy it from you and connect to you is because they feel like they can relate to you. Oh, she got a funky haircut. Man, I love that hair bad. Okay, I'm gonna follow her and see what she up to. Because I'm all about like getting the stuff done. So she talking about getting the stuff done and occupying your purpose and doing what you got to do.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm gonna follow. She got a funky haircut and she about there. She over here with her glasses and she gonna finna do the things. I'm finna go over here and talk to her. As opposed to I'm gonna go talk to a white man who might be also talking about getting the things done. There's
Hmm.
nothing wrong with the white man, right?
Right.
Y'all may have the same exact one, two, threes on how to do it, how to occupy and figure it out. But I'm gonna relate to you because I'm from Baton Rouge and you from Baton Rouge.
Hmm.
My
Hmm.
little sister's from Baton Rouge, or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. So your content is partly, it's more of it's called social media because it's the social aspect of it.
Social.
It's,
Yeah.
I can connect with you. I understand you. I feel like what you're saying is funny, or it makes me feel something and learn something. So yeah, putting those things on there is going to help. At the same token, do I have to show my husband or do I have to show my kids? Not if you don't want to. Some people go live and they, because they don't like to be on camera, they never have their camera on. You look at a black screen and they're live.
I'm seeing that a lot these days.
They're live.
Yeah.
And if what you're saying and your personality is showing up, then people are going to keep, the people that are meant to connect with you are going to continue to connect with you.
Yeah.
They're going to understand that, oh, she, at least she's showing up every day, because I need to show up live too, but I don't want to get my makeup done and my hair done. And I feel self-confident about being on, well, she's showing up with her camera. Oh man, this is awesome. Because I can do that too. So I'm going
Yeah.
to keep showing. So I feel connected to you because you have taken the time to show up and I can relate to you somehow. And that's the biggest thing that we're doing when it comes to social media. We're delivering information, but we're making connection. That's the goal. And so when someone watches your video, if you can see who watched it and they, especially if they liked it, then go
Hmm.
to the page and like their stuff and talk to them a little bit. Don't say, hey, come watch another video, but talk to them, hey, I saw you watch the video and you liked it. Is there anything in particular that stood out to you? Or what are you currently working on? Or what's
Yeah.
you occupying? Or and so you're building this relationship. So the next time you have something that is of offer and that is of benefit, then you can come back and say, hey, you watched the Occupy video about marketing. So maybe you'll like this other. We just recorded this one. I think you might like it.
We'll see. Try
If you
it.
you don't, you don't. No harm, no foul. Hey,
Yeah.
here's a funny video. Here's a, people like cat videos. They say I don't like them.
They say.
My husband likes to watch them. I'm like, why are you showing this to me? Sir, you showed me the last three. I said it was cute. Okay, I don't want to see no more. You know I don't like cats. Anyway, but you can send little funny cat videos or whatever because people like different stuff. And what you're doing is you're learning your audience. What
Yeah.
better way to learn them than to talk to them in
It's
conversation?
the human aspect of the social
You know,
part.
you know.
It's social, and then I think we've in some ways like disconnected that part of it, and it just became another task.
Yep.
It
That's true.
became another task. We've eliminated the fact that the person on the other side is a human, not a bot,
They're
right?
not here for us to use them.
They're not there for us to use them for our own intents and purposes. Not if we have God's intent and purpose, right? Like my thing, I am strong, strong, strong on building businesses with ethical intentionality. And so if you say you're doing this for his people have to matter
Period.
more than anything. They have to matter. We make a difference and a dollar, and God's okay with that.
We make a
We
difference
make a difference and a dollar.
and a dollar. That's good. I hope somebody writes that down.
God's okay with that.
Yeah. I think the part of this building our business or brand or whatever that we have to remember that is important is really the community. What's the community around what you're building?
Mm-hmm.
There's a culture that you are creating that parallels to what you are building. What is that experience? How do people connect and resonate with what you're doing over time? And you have to identify if you have to identify if you want your business to do that, but there is no brand that has longevity that has not created community.
Right.
So if you want it to be long lasting and if you want it to be impactful, then you have to look at your customer as an extension of your community and what does your community actually need. So it goes a little bit further than a product. It goes into what is the experience that you want them to have, what experience is going to truly serve, is truly going to serve them.
Yeah.
So before you sell and before you scale, you need to serve first. So what does that look like? And when you serve them, create something that people want to come back to, they'll be your customer. They'll be your customer for a very long time.
Yes.
A very long time because they're part of your community. So that is a really valuable part of the journey to consider.
And I think that includes like any way that your thing is built. So like personally, I know that I want people to grow and go. I don't want you
Mm.
to be for 10, 15 years. Like knowing that, so like the organization is going to be 20 years old next year.
What
I
organization?
don't, yeah, 20 years next year.
Wow.
But I don't have anybody with me today that has been around for 20 years because I want you to grow and go.
That's right.
I've got people that come back and say, hey, how can I serve the ladies that you're currently working with? How can I be a benefit to them? But if you're still around, still needing the same thing for 20 years, I'm the problem. Because something should have happened a long time ago where I either identified that what I'm giving you isn't enough to sustain you so you can grow and go, or I'm, choose your words, choose your words, out of ego, keeping you around so I can say, so it looks good for me that I still have you around. And I am of the mind that I don't want anybody to need me. I don't want you to need me. You can get access to me, but I don't want you to need me. So, Kenitra, what what's next? How do because your audience of what first of all, I love GFT. I love y'all so much. I don't think I tell you that enough. I feel like I don't tell you that enough. I love y'all. I love the community that you've built and the culture that y'all have. What's on the horizon for people who want to work with you?
So I'm really noticing that we are so multifaceted and we have so much vision and ideas and so much genius that we don't know how to steward it. So I'm
Mm,
leaning into helping the builders begin to steward the genius that was birthed through their grief journey. So I have been leaning into and applying my own self a reset framework where I'm getting up and I'm sitting and I am asking the Lord some specific questions,
mhm.
you know, about all the things that are on my plate and allowing him to allowing him to identify what he wants me to focus on, right? And making an inquiry about what specific steps I need to be taking right now. What do I need to be working on right now? So the reset framework is what I'm pushing out. I'm beginning to share it in smaller groups, and so I'm ready to start sharing it on a larger, you know, platform. So for anybody who is interested, you can go to my website. We'll put the link in the description and you can go and begin to get looped in for that reset framework. It's a simple little freebie. It's a simple freebie. It's 3 pages and it explains to you the framework. It has 3 parts to it. three things very clearly. First thing you got to do is unclutter. We got a whole lot of things going on. Let's unclutter all of those things that are important, but they might not be the priority. The second thing is
That's, hold on. It's important, but it may not be a priority.
mm-hmm, yep, yep, it's important.
Don't throw it away. It's
But
just
on the
not a
shelf.
right now thing. I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah, put it. It's okay to put things on the shelf. We feel like we have to do everything right then and there.
Right
No,
now.
allow God to tell you what specific thing He wants you to give attention to. Right then, He ain't gonna forget about it. He
Right.
put it in you. He's
It's
not going.
his.
But if you let the Lord drive, go to Him to get clarity about what He desires for you in this present season that you are in. Then you can actually begin to focus and stop assuming that all of the weight is on you to make sure that steps 1 through 397 happen. It's really not.
It's
He's
not.
really carrying all of that, and I just need for you to do 5 and 6.
That's good.
Yeah. Yep. So the second thing in that framework is the clarity. And then thirdly, it's execution. When you know what your instructions are, you can execute. But if we
Yeah.
don't sit still and declutter other stuff, you don't even hear your instructions. So unclutter, clarify, then execute.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yep.
They work through your framework and then they're ready for Monica.
I would say, yeah, it's really a good segue because we don't all know how to execute strategically. So let's strategically learn how to get the clarity we need, and then
Hmm.
you begin to move over to other builders or team members that can help you be targeted and how to execute what that thing is. And so when you get to the Monicas of the world, all of their genius can go bananas because it has a specific focus to be an aid to. So I 100% agree.
I
Mm-hmm.
like that. I like that a lot. And Monica, how can they connect with you for all things marketing, systems, structure?
Well, you can go over to monicamichelles.com, monicamichelles.com. You can find me on pretty much all the platforms of America, Monica Michelle S. However, I am going to put something together particularly for you and your audience, and
Oh,
they'll be able to get access to that at monicamichelles.com/occupy.
we love a thing, honey. We love a special. We love something that's just for us. We do. We
Yes,
love that.
yes. Get your little
And
playbook to help walk you through doing some marketing in different areas you can show up.
wonderful. We appreciate that so much. And I'm gonna actually include the link in the description. It'll be in the video description. And I'm also gonna make sure that that info is inside of our 2025 Occupy Toolkit, which is housed in Notion. Everyone should have the link for that in the email that went out a couple of days ago. If not, I'm actually gonna resend it. On that note, I appreciate both of you so, so much for your time, for your commitment to helping women build well, helping women build for sustainability and longevity and for the future so that your name rings in people's ears for decades to come. I appreciate both of you so much. For everyone else that's watching this video, tomorrow is the day. We are at T minus a few hours. I'm going to take several naps and prepare to love on you and pour into you on tomorrow. I am extremely excited about the ladies that we're going to meet tomorrow that are going to help us where wealth and wellness are concerned. Beyond that, if you need me, you know where to find me. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.